Chris Plant is a syndicated radio talk show host. Leslie Marshall, Fox News contributor and syndicated radio talk show host. Leslie, why won't this administration come out and say, number one, that they're going to investigate who gave that leak in all these bad comments about Bibi Netanyahu? Why won't they say that? And by the way, not even really say whether or not they disagree with them wholeheartedly.
Well, I do feel they've said they disagree with them. Whether you just heard from Jen, whether you heard from the press secretary for the president and a statement that came out from the administration earlier, that does not reflect the feelings or sentiments of this administration. It does not reflect, and it is not true, we just heard. We also heard that this does not reflect the position of the United States. So I think they're very clear that's not how they feel. I have to say, Gretchen, with all that's going on in the world, election aside, Ebola, ISIS, and we have two countries where ISIS is just growing en masse and making millions per day in Syria and Iraq. Do we really want them to spend the time and taxpayer money investigating a remark that we don't know is correct, B, we don't know who said this remark, and 3, does not reflect the sentiments of this president or the administration?
This administration has set a precedent of investigating many other reporters. If they don't agree with this statement, and by the way, it's a very damaging statement for our one ally in a huge swath of land where all this terror is happening. If they don't want to investigate and get to the bottom of who said this about Israel's prime minister, I don't know who they'd want to investigate, Chris.
Well, they've caused yet another foreign policy crisis with yet another of our allies, and it's rather ironic and absurd that some rock thrower from the Obama administration would throw indictments like this out while hiding behind the veil of anonymity. And as you mentioned, Benjamin Netanyahu was not only a commando in the IDF, he was the commander of their most feared special operations unit. His brother was killed at Entebbe. I think that calling him the things that they called him pretty outrageous, particularly from whoever it was, and to pretend that they don't know who it is, that speaking to the Atlantic, they all speak on background, they all speak anonymously, is really quite outrageous. It's another foreign policy catastrophe crisis that they've created with one of our allies.
Leslie, sometimes isn't it the fact, I mean, I hate to say it, that all administrations leak certain things and then they can say, oh, we didn't really mean it, but they're kind of glad that it got out there?
Oh, I would agree with you there, but I have to say I wouldn't agree with this very profane term, the lack of professionalism. And 1 week before an election, this doesn't help the president whose approval ratings are low. This doesn't help Democrats who don't want to be associated with him 1 week before the midterms, and where it looks like they could possibly lose the Senate. So I agree with you, but this time around, no, I don't think so. And Chris, I disagree with you that this is such a damaging crisis. I mean, the United States and the president especially have been very clear about where he and the United States stand with regard to settlements. But with regard to ISIS and the fight, we have seen an improvement, at least I have seen as an American, between the United States and Israel and these two leaders.
All right. I owe Chris an additional comment the next time we all get together because I got to wrap it there. Chris, Leslie, thank you so much.
All right.